Journalists go to places around the world to cover stories, and whilst they're doing that, they sometimes take on a certain level of risk. Often the stories that need to be reported are in dangerous places such as war zones, or places where there's been floods or natural disasters. The ultimate aim is to go and gather that information and share it. The hazards are that we're often working alone. We will have a fixer or possibly a driver working with us who we have responsibility for, and also to hopefully get them into a space where they've received a certain amount of training as well. But sometimes you are going forward to collect the information when people are running away from that. So you can often find yourself in quite a dangerous space where there's no civilian population around, because you need to get the stories. It's particularly dangerous for videographers and photographers because they will generally have to go and collect the image. And all hostile environment training does is gives you that thought process of, is it safe for me to go on, and how long should I be exposing myself to this risk while I'm doing my job? A lot of young journalists coming into the industry now are unfortunately misled into thinking that to get your name in bright lights you need to go to the worst places in the world to do your job. But that comes with a risk. It comes with a risk for you, and it comes to a risk to the people who care about you. So people like James Foley, who was killed by Islamic State in 2014, the after effects of that are still being felt now, and I think it's up to people to do the research before they go and work in those environments, because at the end of the day you do put your life at risk, and if you are going to do that, make sure you put the right training in place first before you do that, and invest in some decent security equipment, safety equipment, helmets, body armours, and more importantly medical training. I think as a international journalist or someone from the West, i.e. from the UK or from the US or any other sort of European area, it's very important for us to consider what our role is when we employ people within the spaces that we go to, especially the Middle East and North Africa, and places that are what appear to be in sort of constant states of conflict, places like Afghanistan. We have to remember that we are working within someone else's culture, and it's really important for us to respect and acknowledge that, and also to see them as our colleagues, not as our staff too much. And also understand that when we put ourselves in risk, we also put them at risk as well. So that's why the online packages are going to be really interesting, because people can access them from whatever region of the world they tend to be working in at the moment.